talk about the right's biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems. I think we're gonna go over. I'm gonna make several videos about this, and we're going over the first problem. Okay, and I think this is I could cover more important problems, but I think this is probably the biggest problem. Besides, right, unable to get the general public to, or at least get the side to turn out where it's much easier for people in the city to turn out in elections than in a rural area because people in rural area are not very informed about elections and stuff. What about the right's biggest problem? And I think that is, I know people will cringe at this video like, really? This is terrible. This is a really big problem too. And yes, it is a problem if the right wants to have long-standing power. Okay, and that is the fact that a lot of really famous people do not support. Let's just, for example, look at the endorsements for both candidates. I do think that the right actually did gain significant ground in the famous people celebrity, like Elon Musk gained a lot of rappers switching sides, a lot of people switching sides, including the most infamous of them all, Amber Rose. But a lot of celebrities are all, in this bubble. A lot of famous people are all in this bubble. You have a lot of the ultra wealthy, a lot of the Hollywood celebrities, all of them, and especially like singers, a lot of them still support. And yes, I think anyone should support, any political party. But the right's biggest problem is that, it should really be even 50% of celebrities support one political party and 50%. It should be more of even. Okay, the more representation of the population. Okay, but I think this is the biggest problem, and this is what I'm going to explain here. Okay, let's just say a hypothetical 2024 election, 2028 election. Okay, Elon Musk endorses the Republican candidate, which gets the Republican candidate to turn out more votes because Elon Musk has hundreds of millions of followers. Okay, let's just say another very famous guy. I'm not going to go into YouTubers because a lot of YouTubers have really ended their careers. Okay, like Mr. Beast. Okay, let's just say Mr. Beast, endorses the Republican candidate. But on the left wing, you have the top five singers. Let's just say at the time, Taylor Swift is no longer the number one singer. Let's say top five singers. I don't know who would be the top five. Let's say it's still The Weeknd, Billie Eilish, in terms of Post Malone, Taylor Swift, and let's just say there's a new singer that comes around, okay, or Sabrina Carpenter, or this new singer. Every one of these singers endorse the one political party. You see, this is a problem here. It's because these people, let's say they all have 80 plus million monthly listeners, and they all have like 50, 60 million followers. That's a lot of people they're going to tell to get out to vote. Especially younger people. It's going to get younger people to vote more left-leaning, okay? And we go over the other ones like colleges. I don't really think that's much of an issue as it used to be, okay? But, censorship, I think that the right is starting to win the war against censorship. But I think the last real thing is that a lot of these people, a lot of famous people, do not want to support the right. And, of course, this might say that Donald Trump isn't the candidate because a lot of people don't like Donald Trump as a person. Of course, the right likes Donald Trump, but a lot of people don't really like Donald Trump as a person. A lot of independents and of course, most liberals don't like him. But Donald Trump is outside of his base, is a very off-putting person for a lot of independents and especially all liberals. Okay, if you meet a crazy liberal, they'll get hate Donald Trump like he's the worst person. He's basically motherfucking Hitler 2.0, Satan 2.0. He's the spawn of the devil or blah blah. But I think that is a problem that the right has to overcome. Is that a lot of and it's always been this way. Every election, the celebrities, the big people, they don't want of course Hollywood, all these people, they all do not support the right, obviously, and this is a problem that the right continues to face, and every single election cycle, and I wonder if people actually do really care about, but The problem is the celebrities and the not really actors anymore, but influencers and celebrities. Kind of like I mentioned the PlayStation. The reason the PlayStation 5 sold so well, despite having no games, is because the celebrities and influencers that a lot of younger people look up to, not really Hollywood actors anymore, but a lot of celebrities and influencers, all basically like, hey, buy the PS5, 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 PS5. Some said PC because there are some celebrities, you know, famous people who do play PC, but none of them were not very many Switch and not very many, Xbox. Okay, Switch sold well because of its exclusives, and Xbox, well, it has no games too, so of course no one bought it. Okay, but that's the problem I mentioned about Xbox. How Xbox, the reason why Xbox did do too well because a lot of influencers. Okay, let's just say the most famous singers and the most famous YouTubers. All of the most famous YouTubers at the time endorse the Democrat candidate. Okay, all the most famous singers. You'll probably have Elon Musk and some of the most influential right wing people, but other than the usual people that support the right wing, and of course people who supported last time, so all those rappers. And let's say the only group they really continue to increase with is like smaller YouTubers and rappers. Obviously, of course all the most famous rappers are still endorse the Democratic Party. I think that still could be the big problem because that's how like young people keep voting for Democrats is because they say, oh, but my favorite singer endorsed this person, they blah blah blah, and a lot of young people they're not really well versed in the politics. They're just gonna say blindly vote for basically who Taylor Swift tells them to vote for. Unless they are more free thinkers. Like I don't care what candidate Taylor Swift endorses. It's her choice who she endorses, not mine. But this is where we talk about the responsibility. I think celebrities overall should stay out of political stuff. I think that is my opinion. I think celebrities should stay out of political stuff. It is, it's kind of annoying. Like no one cares. That's the really thing. But young people, but it does affect the young vote a lot, and I think that's partially one of the main reasons why the young vote does not vote for conservative parties. I know it's sifting away, but at least of young men, but I think this is a problem that the conservatives are going to need to figure out if they're going to want to have long-term turnout, because all these celebrities can turn out basically all of the fans, all the super fans, to vote for the Democratic Party. Okay, and if of course, even if Trump wins in 2024, let's just say the next candidate loses because he doesn't have the appeal of Trump. He doesn't have the appeal of Trump. Let's say they won J.D. Vance or DeSantis. These people don't have the same appeal that Trump does. Okay, and it's a close election, and let's say these 100,000 voters that have been turned out by all these celebrities do actually change and shape the election. Okay, yes, it's only 100,000 people, but let's say there's 100,000 people in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Virginia, and Georgia and Nevada. Those will be the swing states of 2028. Okay, and those voters basically flip the election blue. Okay, flip the election blue. Okay, yeah. And yeah, that's it about this video here. So what do you think? Do you think celebrities really affect elections? I do think influencers and singers, like famous singers and stuff, like especially like YouTubers, I think the group of people that could play a more critical role in elections are YouTubers. I think that's gonna be the next game they're going, because Hollywood actors don't really influence the election. No one gives a crap about what Mark Hamill thinks or George Clooney, okay, and all those clowns in Hollywood. I think Hollywood has kind of lost their appeal towards the average person in America, okay, but I think that they're gonna definitely start going after YouTubers. So don't be surprised in like 2028 you see Sniper Wolf put out campaign ads paid for by the Democratic Party and Mr. Beast. And then, of course, there's all the conspiracy theories about it and blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, I think this is the biggest problem the right will face is that they have problems with getting influencers in the political party. The Republicans have gained, they have gained several big influencers, like For example, they got XQC to be XQC met Trump alongside of Aiden Ross. Okay, and of course the left got like furious because of course XQC is a very very big streamer, but all the other big streamers support the other political party. Let's just say, all the big ones like Pokimane or okay, I know Sniper Wolf's not a streamer, but Sniper Wolf, we had Mr. Beast. Let's just say they all vote, say, hey, vote for the Democratic Party. Yeah, blah blah blah. And Mr. Beast has 300 million followers. I don't know if he'll still have, but let's just say he, he's able to shrug off this controversy and after a while people forget about it and he starts getting subscribers again. Yeah, let's say he has like 400 million subscribers, and he gets millions of Gen Z people to turn, and the newer voters to turn out. Say if they got Sniper Wolf, and let's just say Dream. If Dream still has a career in 2028, or any newer YouTubers, okay, and all of them, kind of like of all the singers, because they know, because I think the Democratic Party, I think they're gonna start to lose interest in keeping the Hollywood celebrities, paying them to say that stuff. So I think that what they're gonna do next is go after influencers, YouTubers, TikTok channels, like of course the biggest TikTokers, and of course they're gonna go after Instagram influencers as well. Okay, I think that's gonna be the next real battleground, and of course the Democrats are gonna use all of the already existing influencers to get, use all the already famous people to get all these other more famous people to, and yeah. Maybe there was a whole reason why people always say the global elite. But yeah, that's about this video here, and goodbye.